Think of it. And this is what that means. So what we think of the waters of life shouldn't be that way. The water is a carrier. You receive a package today from a carrier. You open it and you find out what it is. But that carrier is not what was in that package. And it's the same thing with the water. It is nothing but a carrier. It carries the ships. It carries the boats. It carries the fish. But the water in itself is not the spirit. That it may have something in that water that the fish needs in order to live. Oxygen. Oxygen. But this must change. Because when man and woman live by the Spirit, his and her longevity is 900 years. 900 years. So in order to make this change here, it's quite a job. So I was told that it takes the first one to go through all the misery. And this is what it's meant, that Jesus died for our sins. Because it was he who had to rectify, correct all the abnormalities within himself. And when that happened, then he became something as a mirror, and his image caught the person next to him, and that mirror caught the one after that, and after that, and after that. You have to think about it, but when you do, you will understand it. So you see, in biology, we say that cells reproduce with a process we call mitosis, which means the cell divides and multiplies, which means one cell becomes two, and then those two become four, and so forth and so on. Now, what is cancer? Isn't it too many cells? Isn't it? Never is. But when that heart becomes this, as I have it here, cells will not multiply as that. As a cell wears out, another one replaces it. One at a time. You follow? This is the new biology. And start getting used to it, because this is what's going to happen. And it's happening in some of us already, because as within, so without. And look at the messes we have out there. And they have to be broken up. This heart got to be broken up in order to become new, different. This is why we have the hurricanes and the winds and the rain. What is the rain? I'll show you shortly. So much rain, the meltdown, all because it's taking place unbeknownst to most people, with the exception of those who come here, melting down. And as within, so without. And you will see the snow melt down, and so forth and so on. These things will happen. Now this is going to be a word that's going to disappear. And even in mitosis, in the ovaries, and in the testicles, mitosis goes even better than that. It goes smaller than that. We call meiosis. You remember? Yeah. This half splits again, and it becomes what we call a germ cell. Germs. And that's from where the germs come, because of what we're doing inside of us. Germ cell. Germs are the pestilence. Those things that come around and break us down further. Germs. Pestilence. Bacteria. Viruses. Retroviruses. Doesn't matter. The degree of how small they get, that's all it means. But it's all the same. And this oxygen that sustains us today is called being born when we are born. And therefore we call it innate. And this is a word that means to be born. Innate. And this is why we are what we are. We're sick. All of us. Oh, we do the best we can, but we live in a risk world. Risk and competition. It's very competitive out there. Very competitive. You have to be on a fast lane. And when you're on a fast lane, consider 120, you'll never make it. Never. You'll be decrepit by the time you stop being 60, if you live that long. Look at all the people that are in politics that are sick. This guy Giuliani, who was our mayor here at one time, got prostate trouble, cancer. Do you expect that man to do a good job? He's sick. How can he do a good job? He doesn't understand. What they know is mitosis.